host of the Team, the WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network. Today we're going to be interviewing Chloe Olivia. She's an anti-bullying advocate, and she just, she speaks about what she's gone through. And today we just want to be able to interview her, and it's a privilege to us because, again, we're the team. And as a team, we want to work together and deal with the struggles of what we have to go through nowadays. And bullying is definitely one of those struggles. So today we're just going to talk about what she does, why she does it, how she's overcome it, and not only how she overcame it, but how she overcame it with God, because that's ultimately where our strength comes from.
I am Chloe Olivia. I am 13 years old. I was bullied, and that's why I started writing songs and going to different states and cities, and just as a march, going across the world to Africa to share my story. I was kicked, I was slapped, I was punched, I was pushed up against the wall by a teacher. I got several racial remarks said to me that I should be a slave whipped and tied to a tree, and that back in the day you would have been my slave. And I got spit on as well. The first 8 days of kindergarten, I got called fat, and no one did anything. And my parents went out to deal with the situation, and it got taken care of. But ever since then, I still got bullied, and I noticed it happening in more and even more and even more. And it got so bad to a point where my parents, they took me out of school and homeschooled me in fourth grade. When I was homeschooled, that really did give me a lot of time to think on it, and that uh, and notice that writing and that singing and that music and acting is something that I know I want to do, and that I want to go to other places. I want to minister to other kids and tell them, hey, suicide is not an option. Because when I was in fourth grade, I actually thought about committing suicide. I wanted to die. I literally wrote it all over my arms, all over my desk. And my teacher saw it, but she didn't say anything. It took me 3 years after the fact to tell my mom that I actually thought about it, because she kept asking me if I did, and I kept denying it. But I finally was able to tell her, and it was like a burden was taken off of me, because I literally remember sitting in the car that night and like boohoo crying, because I know that it happened, but I just never, told anyone, and my teacher was the only one who knew. Um, God pulled me out of that situation, definitely through music and definitely through acting and the arts. And that's when I started sharing my story and sharing my testimony to other churches, to other events like Juneteenth, to different festivals, to music festivals, going in the studio, recording my songs that I've written, to go against bullying and to inspire other kids. And that's what my music is. People ask me, what genre are you and what kind of music you write? And I wouldn't put it in gospel, but I wouldn't put it in worldly. I would say that it's inspirational, and it's for everyone to listen to and get inspired by, and to know that they're not alone. And that's what I felt like in that time frame and that time period when I was going through such a horrible situation, I felt alone, and you're not alone. That was the first song I've ever written. You're not alone. And so from that, in fifth grade, I decided to go back to school, the same school that I got bullied at, actually. I decided to go back to school, and it was a really, really, really hard and emotional decision for my parents to make and for me to make. But they finally ended up letting me go back to school that fifth grade year. And that fifth grade year was definitely the most, like, the best year that I've ever had in school. Um, I was the star of the fifth grade play. Um, and, and I got, a scene, but, everyone was complimenting me, and everyone brought flowers actually for me. I felt that was a night those were the nights that, felt special. And my music teacher actually ended up asking me to write the fifth grade graduation song, because we were graduating in fifth grade. So she asked me to write it, um, and I was able to go up on stage and play my piano and play my song that I've written, while the others and everybody else in fifth grade had to sit down and sing the song that I wrote for them. And they had to listen to me, because that was basically my voice. That singing and acting and different things that I'm doing now, the arts, that is like my voice. That is me telling them, you're going to listen to me now, finally, because I've listened to you long enough, and it wasn't all positive what I was listening to from you. So you're going to listen to me, and what I'm saying is positive, and I'm really glad that God let me turn a negative situation into a positive situation that no one my age gets through.
Before we continue, I just want to remind everyone that this is the Team. I'm your host, Christian Groves, and we're here with Chloe Olivia. You hit a couple of points that really registered with me. Obviously, of course, you're talking about how God got you through struggles. And, to anyone out there, there's several verses in the Bible, you know. For instance, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. And, that fits in multiple things in life. And even in this very thing, as she said, suicide is not an option. And there's times in our lives where, God allows us to go through certain things to teach us a lesson and to prepare us for what is to come. And this is very near and dear to my heart, because most of my life, even today, I get bullied constantly, especially throughout school. And most people, when we get bullied, we want to call our best friend, but we won't call on God. And, what got me through this past year is greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. And the same person and the same God who's in me is the same God who's in Chloe Olivia, and the same God who's in you. He created the world, He created everything that you see, and He created you, and you matter. You matter to Him, and He wants to protect you, and He wants to love you. And I love how you talked about how you express yourself through writing, because writing is an expression that we can all use in a way, and we all do use it, whether it's positive or negative. It's an emotional state that you were in, and you can use it in order to let people know how you feel. You don't have to turn to self-harm. You don't have to turn to drugs, because those are the things I turn to, and that's why I'm able to tell you that's not what you need to turn to, because in life, you search for a temporary high and what to you feels like a permanent low. And in reality, it's never a permanent low. It's only as low as you allow yourself to get. And there's going to be times where you can't control a situation, as there has been for you, and you feel that no one listens to you. But when the world is against you, He's for you. He's always been for you. He's always said that no weapon shall form against you. He's not going to let anything come against you that He can't handle. And there's going to be things that we can't handle as individuals, but when we call upon Him, when we go to Him, whether we sing praises to His name, or we start to read His word, or we just pray to Him, there's a quote that I saw, and it said, "When you're tired of standing, it's about time you decide to kneel." And it just talks about how in life, even just the bullying in general, there's going to be times when you feel like you're alone and you're tired of standing up for yourself. Those are the times where you need to kneel down, you need to pray and ask the Lord to protect you and to put a shelter of protection over you and over your life. And, ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be open. Seek and you will find. And those are very true things. But, and I'm sure you know this, there's been times where you brought it up to someone else's attention and, they don't do anything about it. Teachers and principals will always tell you, come to a teacher, we'll handle it. But in actuality, most teachers and most principals, they won't handle it. And for me, that's what I had to deal with. And what I have to tell you is, you ask, but if you have to ask 100 times, then you ask 100 times until you get your answer. You have to knock on 100 different doors, and you knock on 100 different doors. And you have to seek for 100 days, and you seek for 100 days. But you don't give up after you got your first no. Just because someone else said, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry you're going through it and you don't do anything about it. There's bound to eventually be someone who's willing to listen to you. And I like if you would share with us what was your greatest break free moment where you felt like you broke free of bullying, you felt like you finally had it in control, and you felt like you finally had your own life back.
I would definitely say when my parents took me out of school, and I felt, I really did feel like I was definitely out of the lion's den. My mom and my mom says still to this day that she felt like she was throwing me out to the world, like she was feeding them, that she kind of felt guilty about sending me to school, and so that's why they pulled me out. And when they pulled me out, I just felt so much better. And it's not, homeschool is a different environment than going to actual school, obviously, but when you're actually at school, you're walking through the halls and there is negatives coming at you every second. It doesn't matter who, it's just people saying negative things, whether it's to you or to themselves or to other people. It's still negative. And when I got home, it was definitely a different environment. I was able to tutor a kid once or twice a week that was younger than me, that was having a hard time, with one of his subjects, and I was able to tutor him. And that's when I felt like, not that I was needed by, everyone, but I felt like I was needed, and that people actually did care about me, and that I was able to be in control of this thing. And it's funny because my mom says I went from 0 to 1,000, because when I was getting bullied back in my elementary years, I didn't know how to decipher, like, know the difference between someone being mean and then someone being my friend. And I took things sometimes too hard, and then some things I didn't that I should have. And so that's definitely the time when I found out, okay, that, was able to filter different things that people were saying to me, that this person was being mean, but this person was just trying to help me, and that's when I was able to, bounce it out. And that's when I became in control of it, especially, when I started writing and started, singing and acting and different things like that. That's definitely my turning point, when I knew that I was in control of this thing, that I could take control, that I can, filter what other people say to me or to others. I can, filter it. So that's kind of fun.
It's very important that this generation, we learn to work together. We learn to give each other a helping hand. And to anyone out there who is going to be watching this or who will share this, I want you to know that you're definitely not alone. And we have a number that you can call if you ever want to be interviewed, or even if you just want to be able to get a hold of WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network, to get a hold of me. Our number is 980-202-2915. And I strongly encourage that you do reach out to us. You let us know your dislikes and your likes, because it's very important that we are able to reach you as teens. She said she's 13 and I'm 17, and growing up I played sports, and I was always told you're only as good as your weakest link. And the sad thing about this generation, our weakest link is extremely weak. And it's our goal and it's our mission as the teen team to stand together, to come together, to unify with each and every single one of us, and to stand up for what's right, to stand up for morals. And honestly, this isn't as much about religion as it is just having good morals. Because I would 10 times rather be able to see this world change and us be able to work together. Because we can stop bullying. We truly can, but only if we learn to work together. It's not a matter of black and white. It's a matter of your heart, because your heart tells you who you are. You know, your parents tell you actions speak louder than words. Your actions do speak louder than your words. So it's time that we stand together as a unit, and we stand together and we become unified, and we learn how to change certain things about our lives, to do exactly as Chloe Olivia has done, and not just sit there and pout about what you've been through, but to learn to change what was negative into something that is positive, just like other people are doing. It's time that we stop sitting down and crying and complaining about our lives, but that we actually do something about it. You know, I'm a testimony for that myself. I was suicidal and I was in a hospital, and I am where I am today. You know, you went through your story and you went through your struggle, but you are where you are today. And both of us will tell you, you know, without God, we would have been nothing. And it says, it's in Matthew's, it talks about, but with man it was impossible, but with God all things are possible. And someone's always going to tell you what you can't do. And someone's always going to tell you aren't good enough. But God says to me, you can do it, because what was once impossible was made possible by me. And that's the very thing that you need to remember, you need to recognize. And I hope you're able to enjoy this show. I hope you will be able to share the show with others. And we also want to be able to give you contact information for Chloe Olivia if you ever want to talk about it. And I'll let her share it with you, since it is her contact information.
So this is one of my cards. I have an Instagram and I have a Facebook. My Facebook is Chloe hyphen Olivia Gloston, Gloston. And my Instagram is the Chloe Olivia. I keep you updated with different things that I am doing and different things that I'm doing in the future. So if you can just stay tuned on that. Also, my single release last year, September, around September that time, and we also have a new anti-suicide video coming out sometime this summer. So if you stay tuned on my Instagram and my Facebook, and also my mom's Facebook, which is Yvonne Gloston, you'll be able to find out the information to different things that I am doing and also different things that are coming out.
Again, we just want to thank you guys for watching. Please share. Please call. You know, get a hold of the both of us if you ever need a helping hand in any way. That's what this show is about. It's about helping each other. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and you know, just God bless you and your family.